Hello and welcome to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, the Fat Jack. The weekend is here. It is Super Bowl weekend. So many things going on. Hope you've enjoyed the football season, are ready to make some money this weekend. There's not just that, though. We've got soccer coming up all spring. Of course, the players' props for the big game this weekend, UFC going this weekend, a big pay-per-view, and much, much more. Let's get this show going. Let me bring on my co-host from Louisville, Kentucky, and we will get through the next hour, get you ready to make some money, hopefully give you some insight that you can at least talk to your friends about when you're talking about the big game or at your big Super Bowl party. And if you're betting on the games, get you signed up at fatjacksports.com to consistently make money instead of just every now and then. So, Brandon, how are you, buddy?
I am well. It is the biggest sports betting weekend of the year for most people. But for us sitting on profit, it is just another weekend of games, even though it is the biggest game. We're not gonna blow the bankroll. We're just gonna sit back and enjoy a fun-filled weekend.
Yeah, another opportunity to, and by the way, I'm feeling a little bit sick. So if you can
Yeah.
tell, I got a little something going on. And I blame my wife. I mean, uh, got the flu.
Mm,
I think I had the flu. We can't prove it, but she had the flu. And if she
okay.
had the flu, I probably had the flu. And you know what, Brandon? What I hate about that is I spend a lot of time not being around other people.
Not
I'm
because you're a hypochondriac, but just the yeah,
because I don't really like people that much.
fair.
I mean,
Having met people, I agree.
yeah, I mean, so I work a lot.
Yeah.
I have a network of friends, but recently I haven't seen my friends even. Now this
Mm,
weekend coming up, the big game coming up, I'll see a lot of friends, see you
right.
guys, and see the Travers, different people. But I haven't seen a lot of people. But Karen's the opposite. My wife's the opposite. She goes out, she talks to everybody. She thinks everybody's her best friend. She gives hugs to strangers for no reason. And somebody has given her the flu, and now she's turned around giving it to me. So I'm not
Mm.
happy about that. Saboteur is what I told her. I said, you sabotage. But so I'm fighting through that, and luckily it's this week, early this weekend over Pro Bowl weekend versus next week because
Oh
I
yeah.
do not. I've I've been sick one time during the Super Bowl. Karen's actually been sick too one time. It's no fun. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a great weekend. It's a celebration of the football season. We're going to make a lot of money coming up this weekend. I will tell you though, basketball I won again last week and went 4-1 on Sunday or on Saturday. So maybe a little bit of illness isn't bad for the handicapping. So that's a good thing. But to your point, yeah, we're not. This is not a time, and this is where you kind of separate what the game is, and you're watching and you're having a good time, you're celebrating with your friends and all that. What that is versus what you do with your money that you've made all year. There's a big difference there, and it's always important to point that out because I will have guys inevitably. Now, the good news is for this game, I haven't lost the Super Bowl in 13 or 14 years. So I've won every year going back a decade or more. So I haven't had to endure that ridiculous. And now I'm not answering emails, but that ridiculous email from somebody that bet their entire everything they were up for the whole year on the game because it was the biggest game on the planet, and they decided they were going to bet all their money because they're an idiot. So I haven't had to endure that. I will, however, get every once in a while, and I don't answer them anymore, so it doesn't matter. But I would get something even when I would win, where somebody would lose on the opinion that I just or the best bet on the option of
Hmm.
if I release the side and the total, they bet all the total and the total whatever, or they bet a lot on one of the prop bets or two. You bet heads. You said it was going to be tails. I bet 4,000. Okay. Well, if you're betting tails, and so I don't do those type of things, I guess is the point. If you want to make money betting on sports, go to fatjacksports.com. If you want to make money this weekend, go get signed up. It's 99 bucks, predicted final score, best bets in the game, the top prop bets for the game. I went back and forth, Brandon, on how to approach the prop bets for this game because we've always given them for free.
Hmm.
But this year I have a prop package. And so I thought, well, I'll give 3 or 4 for free and then I'll give the rest of the prop package. I landed on the fact that the props have made so much money for everybody to this point that if the props go out this one weekend for free, I'm not offering a separate package for the props this weekend. So everybody that's on the football, or frankly, if you're on the basketball, you get the basketball through at least March Madness or the month you're getting the football information for tonight or for this weekend thrown in for free. So I landed on the fact that this one game, I'm not going to, I don't need to milk another 99 bucks out of it. It's just ridiculous. I want people to win. That's why I'm doing this. I want you to win. And so you're going to get the props for free, and you're going to win most likely if you'll follow our system. And if you want to win long term, you're going to get signed up before Sunday night because prices on all season packages go up again on Sunday night. So go to fatjacksports.com. The free baseball goes away on Sunday night. If you play the baseball
Ooh.
season, you're going to
Ooh.
get it for free if you sign up today. If you wait until Monday, you are not going to get it for free. You're going
That
to have to pay for
every
it.
year is turning 50, 60 units of profit. And if you're willing to wait 5, 6, 20 days in order to give up that, that's on you.
You gamble like a
Whew.
loser if you do that.
Yep.
And I know there's people out there that do that, and that's okay. If that's who you are, that's fine. If you want to lose, just lose, I guess, or pay more. Wait till you're down and then pay. Because right now, it's not just the fact you get the baseball season for free. You can pay out the service fee up to 8 months or 10 months. So if it even is about money, it's not, because you're paying less right now and you can pay it out over 8 months. Um, that doesn't happen. You sign up in March, you can't pay it out over 8 months. You pay it over 6 months, so your payments are more. You've missed a full month of play. So even if you're not going to play the plays in February or in March, you need to sign up now. Even if it's just football season, get the baseball season for free. You're not paying for it, so don't play it if you don't want to. If you go and you decide you want to play it, that's a good idea as well. As Brandon said, we're going to make 50 or 60 games of profit. You can join us on that, or you don't have to. So go to fatjacksports.com. Either way, if you're listening to this show, go get signed up today to win this year through the 2026 Super Bowl at the best rates of the entire year. Let's talk about the game a little bit, Brandon.
Yes.
Kansas City back in it against Philadelphia. And we talked a little bit last week during the Pro Bowl show about kind of the matchup of the two things and how much of the intangibles do we factor in or not factor in with what Mahomes does and what Travis Kelce does. If you just look at the X's and O's, and I've talked to now since the line came out, since we knew the matchup now going on 2 weeks, I've talked to a lot of sharp players and just in passing, because everybody, that's the thing about the Super Bowl. Everybody has an opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
And so some of the smarter guys that I know, who I know make money betting on sports, they will volunteer their opinion in this game, where during week 5 of the regular season, you're not going to get one game anybody cares about. So most people have landed on Philadelphia is probably a little better team top to bottom. They're deficient at quarterback. They're a little deficient. They're behind at quarterback. They're behind at in the kicking game, most people think, and they're behind at the head coach. So, but every other position and every other unit is will lean toward Philadelphia. So if Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid would just play to their skill level, then Philadelphia is probably a little better team. But as we know, you can't bet on that, because Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid, they not only are so experienced in being in this spot, they know how to game plan to get. They will play better most of the time than their skill level of the whole team would normally play. So that's where everybody's landed, Brandon. Where do you land on the game? Have you, if you're playing? I'm not going to give away who I like on the side or the total on this show. We all will tell you this. We are going to talk about. I'm going to give 3 or 4, maybe 5 prop bets away. So we have a lot of free plays,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of give a little insight on how I come up with props and how you're going to be able to see it. There's some great examples this year on how I come up with props, where I'm looking, what I start with, and how I'm able to make 3, 4, or 5 games of profit based on one premise that has multiple ways to occur.
Yeah, a lot
One
of
thing.
correlation between, say, the prop plays and the game and or total. If you look at it from that kind of perspective, you understand how the dominoes kind of fall to get to the end result.
And frankly, this year we've been able to do that almost every week,
Mm-hmm.
because there are games taking place. Now you can bet on props all the time. So we've been doing that, making more money for everybody with those prop packages and prop bets. Um, this this week, so on this show, I'm not going to talk necessarily a lot about the side and the total. I'm going to talk more about drilling down a little bit and kind of letting people see how we do things. You should write it down if you're going to bet on the games and bet these props. They're probably going to win. And so that's what's coming up on the show. But from your perspective, Brandon, just seeing what you've seen through the year, both these teams, where do you land? Could you muster up? Can you muster up walking up and playing Philadelphia, knowing they're the better team, or do you go with what got you there, dance with the one that brought you, and go with Kansas City and just not knowing exactly how, but feeling like, you know what, they'll figure it out? And I believe in that. So which of those where do you
The
lean?
answer to both of those questions is yes. I've seen enough from Philadelphia to believe that they are a team that can go out and dictate the pace of play, control the football, even though at times they do have turnover tendencies, and be able to keep Kansas City on the sideline, which brings the question: Kansas City doesn't necessarily need time of possession in order to win ball games. We've seen that over the last 7 seasons as they've been in multiple AFC championship games and now multiple Super Bowls. All they need is a poker player's mentality, a chip in a chair. If they have the ball and they are in a game in a one possession game with a game on the line, they have a damn good shot of winning. So yes, I can walk to the window and see myself placing a bet on either one of these teams to win the game.
So well, if you do that, you might as well just sit, don't bet it, and just eat hot dogs. So if you
I
had
mean, I have futures bets on both teams. I'm cashing a ticket Sunday either way. So the totals where I'm going to, and the props is where I'm going to make my money.
the Kansas City is a stick shift. They're like a car that's a 3-speed. They
Okay.
they live in first gear.
Mm-hmm.
And first gear is enough to be competitive against most teams in the NFL, actually all teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And they will drive in first gear until they have to go to second gear.
Yep.
But they will not go to second gear if they don't have to. And that's what people if you pay attention to Kansas City, and I do, it's not just because they're always really good. It's more because I go on in Kansas City. Obviously, I pay attention to all the teams, but with Kansas City, there's a little special insight because it's a big station. I do a 30-minute show there during the middle of the day on a Friday. It's actually almost a 45-minute show. A lot of we drill down a lot into the Chiefs roster. We drill down a lot into what they're doing, and so I mean that's actually an overstatement. We don't drill down that much. I mean, but there is some.
It's
I,
Chief centric, we'll
I
say.
need to know more than I do about the Carolina Panthers because I don't go on to do the same thing. Carolina. So
Right.
um, and so but that's what Kansas City does. They are conservative. Andy Reid does not like to open things up, does not like
Mm-hmm.
to take chances. He feels like my team is better and I can pull the right strings if I need to. So we're going to play good defense. We're going to run the ball. We're going to win time possession if we can. If we can't, then I'll go to second or third gear when I have to. That's what happened last year against San Francisco. That's what's happened in most of the games where they've been one-score games. So this is not unusual. They can get it done a bunch of different ways without having to be risk takers. Philadelphia, same general idea. Going to run the ball first, run it effectively, only throw when we have to, not turn it over. We're going to take advantage in these prop bets of some of these different tendencies both of these teams have. We'll talk about that right after the break. But that's kind of a breakdown that you have both teams from a total standpoint, it could go under easily
Mm-hmm.
if both of these teams drive down the field, 5 or 6 minute drive, kick a field goal, or score a touchdown. Drive down the field, 5 or 6 minute drive, kick a field goal or touchdown. Then punt, then punt. Now you're at halftime and you've got 21 points or less.
With 3 possessions each.
Yeah, and you're going to the second half, and now nobody's really going to do anything. And so there is a formula to where both of these games stays way under, but it also one safety falls down who's
Oh.
covering a slot route. A.J. Brown gets free on the edge, and he runs and he goes 80 yards. Now, Kansas City's going to have to go to second gear, and they will. And when they do, they'll probably score. So now you got the total trending up. The point is, don't go crazy in this game either way. There's no reason to. Get the basketball, get the props. You're going to make money. Go to fatjacksports.com, sign up today, and win this weekend. Kind of a recap of the football season as a whole. There was an interesting stat that happened in December, which
Mm-hmm.
has not happened since 2012. The sports books in Nevada lost money in football. For the first time since 2012. So think about that big picture. The sports books in Nevada have beaten the general public, have beaten the public out of money every single month that football's gone on since 2012. I don't know what month it was. I think it was October. Just pops. But anyway, one of the football months. They won in 2012 in October, let's say, and they have won. They have beaten the public every single month since a football season for over a decade. During that time, my clients and I have built insurmountable amounts of wealth, a lot of us. I mean, beating the books, winning consistently, because a lot of the times sharp players are going to be on the same side as the sports books. And what more importantly, we're never going to consistently be on the side of a $50 guy who can walk up and play Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philadelphia in a money line parlay, which is what ended up doing the books in December. Players that don't know how to handicap, you don't have to handicap to walk up and play Baltimore and the three best teams in the league or whoever
Mm-hmm.
you like, and play them on the money line in a parlay and bet a lot of money. You're getting more than even money. And those bets don't win monthly. But in December, they did. They won every single week. And so guys that normally will never win betting on sports, they're just going to eat chicken wings and bet, they were able to win money during the month of December. So, and good for them, by the way, because they've waited over a decade to have
It's been a while, yeah.
a consistent winning month. So it doesn't matter to me, but I think it's an important insight to at least point out that December was the first time in over a decade that for a full month, the general public won betting on sports. So if you're out there and you won in December, you're most likely, if you're honest with yourself, would say, you know what, I haven't had many winning months since in the last decade. That is one of the reasons why you signed up at FatJackSports.com, because we did win in December. We didn't win much, but we won a little bit in December, and we're going to win even when the general public wins, because what the important thing to remember is we're not going to put ourselves on the side of the average guy that's betting $50 a game and money line parlaying these things. But it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to lose. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be all or nothing, but kind of an important thing that doesn't happen a lot. And what was even more interesting from that stat, Brandon, I guess Circa won, downtown won, but the Strip lost. So
Mm.
it's interesting to see the difference in the gambler and the philosophy of the gamblers downtown, which makes sense. Circa is considered, if not in the top 2 or 3 for sure, places that guys like, sharp players like to bet. Guys
Yeah,
that
that
win.
the Circus Sportsbook is a sports bettor's place. You go to Caesars, you go to MGM Grand, you go to any place on the strip. That's your general convention guy who's in town for the weekend, who's just wanting to blow through his per diem.
Yeah, and the other reason why they go to Circa or why they go to Westgate is because they hold their odds down.
Mm-hmm.
Things that the guy who's out there for a convention or the rodeo doesn't even care about. He's going to
Doesn't
bet
even
on
know
his.
about.
He doesn't even know. He's going to bet on his team, and he's laying 115 when he really shouldn't. Circa is aware of that. They're sensitive to that, so they keep their numbers down. They also don't limit the bet size almost at all. They don't block players unless you are literally doing something sketchy. So you can go bet as much as you want, and they keep the numbers down. There's a lot more integrity in what they're doing, at least on the surface, than what some of the other places are doing. Uh, Westgate's the same way. And so those places did not have a bad December. It was the other ones where the $50 guy who's staying at Caesars and going to the conference at the convention center, and he's betting on his way over because he wants to have something to do while he's at his convention. He's the one that won in December. So kind of an interesting little dissection of sports gambling over not only last year, month of December, but even within the city of Las Vegas, who was winning and who wasn't. Go to FatJackSports.com if you don't have to worry about those things. The good news is since December, we've gotten on track. We're really, you look at the results tab at FatJackSports.com, you'll see running off a ton of wins. I haven't even, we've been doing basketball for now 2 straight weeks. Soccer's winning again
Mm-hmm.
this year, this week, this month. Let's go to the results tab and just take a look at it. And you can, by the way, you can do this. Follow along. Go out there. So of the last, where are we here? Of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks were 8-2. Not bad, right? The extra last 10 picks we've had in football, we're 8-2. Those are things that we take for granted that most people don't. But you look at the month of December, all of the playoffs, NFL playoffs are there, and remember that we did not have a great college football playoff run. There was a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people talked about the favorites and overs, and basically the lines didn't matter, and that's normally not going to be good for us. We didn't want to lose a ton in that, but that wasn't good. So we've overcome. If you just look at the NFL in the playoffs and stuff, 2, 4, 6, 7, up about 9 games in the playoffs, 8, 9, 10 games somewhere in there. So Doing pretty well. Basketball said 4-1 the last 2 Saturdays in a row in basketball, so that's good. Get signed up for that. Add the soccer. New package is out right now. There's 3 different soccer packages going forward. You can get soccer through March. We'll be expanding the league out a little bit. We've been doing English Premier almost solely
Yep.
during the last year, but that will be wrapping up in May. So as we get further, I've been told by the soccer guys that as they get closer to May and get deeper in, there'll be more Champions League stuff. There'll be other markets they will focus on as the English Premier League starts winding down. So there's soccer all summer long. Those picks, if you go through next year's Super Bowl, work out to about $40 a week. They're not much more. I know, it's just so stupid for the amount of profit that it's just such a safety net. It's like somebody just putting money in your account every single week. So go to fatjacksports.com, add that soccer. You can get everything right now, pay it out over the next 10 months, save a lot of money versus a la carting these sports or going individual. So great time to get signed up there. All right, so we take a break, or we want to do a first set of prop bets for this game?
Let's get a break in, because these the plethora of prop bets that are available is far reaching, and I feel like we need to give that market a bit of a space in order to breathe.
Yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna give 2 or 3 at the same time within 1 or 2 things that I believe, and this is how I've been doing this for literally 14 or 15 years of making money in the props. But one thing I think is going to happen, or 2 things I think are going to happen. If they're going to happen, then this is going to happen, and then we take advantage of that by betting 2 or 3 of those things. So stay tuned. Even if you're not a sports gambler, you might find this interesting if I can articulate it in a way that you'll understand it, which I'm hoping to be able to do. And we'll get you some free winners. You're going to be betting the game. If nothing else, we'll give you some information you can talk to your buddies about coming up on Sunday when the biggest football game on the planet takes place. Don't go.
Hey guys, this is the Fat Jack. Are you finally ready to get a better plan betting the games this year? Let me help. Go to fatjacksports.com, where we understand that it's not the gambling she hates, it's the losing. fatjacksports.com.
If you want to stay in touch with everything related to the Fat Jack, follow us on all the socials: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it, we are there at Fat Jack Sports. You can also watch the Fat Jack Sports Hour on YouTube every week, get free winners, and tips on how to become a better sports bettor. Plus, see Jack's appearances on the nationally syndicated TV show Beat the Odds. Stay connected with the Fat Jack Sports Service at Fat Jack Sports on all the socials and on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour, and now here is our host guiding us to big game winners. He's the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports Hour, segment number 2. Big weekend coming up. Hopefully you guys are out there having a good time, ready for the big game on Sunday. Are most people still doing parties? You know, in Oklahoma, and I haven't been in Oklahoma much this winter, but in Oklahoma, I guess everybody is sick.
Yeah.
Maybe it's wrapping up. It may have run its cycle, but everybody's been sick. Is it still a time where people are going to party? What are most people doing, Brandon? If you're not in Vegas with us, have you talked to your buddies? What are they going to be doing? Will they watch it at home, or will they go out?
Most of people that I associate with will get together in smaller groups than we maybe saw a number of years ago. But, 8 to 10 people together, hang out at the house, order pizza, bring wings, whatever, just bang around. I don't think many people are having large get-togethers for games. And I think part of that's because, things are going on. People are, like you said, people have the flu. It's been rampant around here. But then also too, I think people have less patience for bigger groups, especially if there's alcohol involved. So they've pared it down a little bit, tightening the circle and only watching with your closest people.
So kind of like having a get-together for one of the presidential debates. It's like you don't want to do that necessarily, and probably don't. They get tired of everybody's opinion on the game, most probably. What about square games? Is that still a thing? I know Circa's doing a thing this year.
Yes.
And they're doing a big square game, and I think you can even pick your own square. There's a thing there.
Yep. Yeah, squares are big, especially in the if you know someone who has a kid who is playing a sport, whether it's softball, basketball, whatever it is. They will use the do like a 50-50 deal to where it's a fundraiser for that group, and then you also get your deal. I'm in about 5 of those.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. What a good. Why didn't I think of that? I was raising money for kids.
You had kids playing soccer, basketball.
All of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
my kids
all the
played
above.
all of it for literally 15 years. It never dawned on me to
To
do
run a squares contest.
50-50 squares contest for the Super Bowl. That's a great idea. So yeah, gosh, I'm an idiot sometimes. I mean, that's just really
You were
silly.
singularly focused on finding winners every week, and then also coaching the Ladybugs
Yeah, you're
soccer
right.
team.
You're right. The Lollipop Stranglers.
That's what it was.
That was one of Katie's teams. I always thought it was funny. They're the Dragon Ladies, and
Right, these
all the
very very strong and impending mascots, and you're rolling out
empowering,
there.
and they're dangerous, yet they're also dainty, that type of thing. So we just took that one step further. We were the Lollipop Stranglers, which I'm not sure how we took care of our prey, whether we strangled them with a lollipop or we strangled them while eating a lollipop. We never got into it, but yeah, those were days when we were always trying to raise money. Baseball, trying to raise money for something. That's a great idea. So it might be too late unless you're catching this on the podcast. But yeah, maybe you know what, next year, Brandon, I probably won't, but I might do a square game and do that for somebody else. I have other friends that have kids, and maybe people could go to Venmo or something and send in
Or
$20.
we do a half to a winner, and then half donation to a sports a foundation that helps kids get uniforms or cleats or something
Cleats for
like that.
kids.
Yeah,
We'll
something
do
like that.
Cleats for kids or Fields and Futures or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I should be thinking more philanthropic. It's always a big celebration of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and I know the people that run Cleats for Kids in Oklahoma and Fields and Futures, and there's probably something there that we're missing an opportunity. So FatJackSports.com, if you don't want to miss an opportunity, go get signed up there. Let's talk about the prop bets.
Yep.
Prop bets are just general rule on prop bets for this game. If you are a prop bet player, here's the difference between smart guys that win money betting on sports and guys that are just doing this for entertainment and are perfectly happy throwing money away. The average amateur gambler is going to want to find bets where he can bet a little bit to win a lot. So he's going to think safeties or missed extra points or what is it, the Anaconda or whatever you were talking about the other day. So something where you can bet $2 or $5 or $10 to win a bunch of money or parlay them together. That is although fun, and I'm not shaming it. This is the difference between me shaming you if you're out betting on your own in December and making money and then deciding you're Kenny Rogers versus getting signed up. And if you're one of those guys that likes to do this for the Super Bowl, I'm not shaming you if you do that, but just understand there's a 95% chance you're not going to make money doing prop bets if you're a guy that philosophically likes to bet a little to win a lot. Smart players, we're okay betting a lot to win a little because the numbers are more in our favor. And we're about winning because it makes sense. It's a dollar thing, Brandon. It's not about fun. If you're betting $2 to win $20, you're betting a prop bet not because you think that necessarily is 100% going to happen, but because it's fun. You enjoy the game, you're watching it, you have something else to cheer for. That's awesome. I'm not shaming that, but understand that it's improbable to do that and actually bet to make money in the prop. So you've got to kind of switch your thinking if you're trying to make money. There are a lot of opportunities within those, 50-50 type bets, minus 110 to minus 140, to where you don't necessarily have to lay 800 to win 100 or vice versa. You can find some things in the middle. And those are the things we're going to focus on today. The first one is, I believe, Brandon, there are a bunch of ways that Kansas City is going to bring pressure or going to load the box on defense. They've done it all year long. When you play Philadelphia, the number one thing you have to do is stop the run.
Yep.
So you're going to stop Saquon Barkley. If you can't do it with your front four, with your front seven, you have to then bring extra people into the box to stop the run. Because if Saquon Barkley runs it for 4.5 yards a carry, you're probably going to lose if you're Kansas City. So you're not going to allow that.
Be a long day if that happens.
Be a long day. Your defense is going to get tired. They're going to be on the field the whole time. So even if Mahomes and company can do what they do, you're going to have trouble winning if that happens. So you need to stop the run, make Jalen Hurts do some special things to beat you. So how do you stop the run? You bring extra players, bring safeties down, blitz packages, which, oh, by the way, Kansas City loves to do. So they're going to do that. The other way that we're going to bring extra players if you're Kansas City is if they get the lead, which sounds contrarian to what normally you play a softer zone in the back, but that's not what Kansas City does if they get the lead. If they get the lead, they bring corner blitzes and they have free rushers, and they're going to take advantage of the fact that Jalen Hurts holds the ball too long when he's back to pass. So they're going to bring pressure. Both of those scenarios are going to have more people in the box, more people at the line of scrimmage, and in turn making Philadelphia Kansas City guard in the secondary and man coverage. All right. So now we're looking at how can we take advantage of a team that we think is going to be in man coverage more than they we feel comfortable them being. So how can we take advantage of it? Who's the number one receiver, Brandon, in the NFL against man coverages?
Ooh, I would assume it would be somebody who has a large yards per catch average. It may be AJ Brown.
It is AJ Brown, and it is as much because of his yards per catch. Where you start looking for those things, you start looking at body frame. So DK Metcalf comes to mind. If I was just guessing, I would say DK Metcalf because one guy can't guard DK Metcalf.
He's a horse, yeah.
AJ Brown, very similar, big, strong, athletic dude. The number one receiver in the league against man coverage is AJ Brown. So we are going to go based on the premise that Kansas City, for a couple of different reasons, are going to load the box and play man in the back end. We're going to go over 5 catches with AJ Brown. You don't have to lay a big number to do that. 120 maybe. It might go up to 5.5 when everybody listens to the show and goes and hammers that bet. But we're going to bet AJ Brown over 5.5 catches simply based on the fact that and they don't have Kansas City doesn't have to be successful with their blitz packages or not successful. They just have to commit to that as a game plan, which they're going to.
Yeah, so as long as they don't bracket coverage on AJ Brown and limiting in theory his ability to catch passes, I'm following.
And they're not going to bracket. They're going to go man because that's what Kansas City does at a very high rate. Expect more of that over the catch, over 5 catches with AJ Brown. Write it down if you're out there. The second thing we're going to do based on that is we're going to say, okay, well, as they're bringing pressure, what is Philly going to do to neutralize that pressure? They can't keep everybody in. So what are they going to do? What they're going to do is what they like to do when you bring a lot of pressure is use Jalen Hurts' legs. Jalen Hurts had 10 rushes in the championship game. 9 of them, we're not talking about tush pushes. We're not talking about scrambles. 9 of them were designed runs. All right, the knee is working just fine. All right, so if the knee, and we're at the last game of the year, we're not protecting the knee against the next round or anything like that. So they are going to neutralize the pass rush and the blitz of Kansas City, besides throwing to man coverage to A.J. Brown. They are going to run Jalen Hurts on quarterback draws. They're going to roll him out on pass run options where he will take off. Because the one thing Jalen Hurts has been really good at is not turning the ball over lately. This guy has been very good to a fault at times, taking sacks and holding the ball too long, but not giving it to the other team. When you have the number 1 ranked defense in the league, the one thing you can't do as an offense is give the ball to the other team. Yeah. So expect Jalen Hurts over 9.5 rushing attempts. So we're going to play over 9.5 rushing attempts by Jalen Hurts. So those are 2 based on one set of information that doesn't even have to do necessarily with Philadelphia. We're looking at what Kansas City's going to do, and we're going to try to take advantage of that. So those are 2 that run together. So FatJackSports.com, we have a ton of those. That will go out to the clients, predicted final score, and probably 15 prop bets. That are going to make money. They're going to make money for me. They're going to make for our clients. And if you sign up for $99, you're going to make money also on the Super Bowl if you bet these games. So go get signed up today. Not to mention we've hit 14 in a row. I added up. I thought it was 13. It's actually 14. So 14 in a row. And we're going to win again this year. So get signed up. Add basketball. It's only $99 more for the week through Monday or through Sunday also. So basketball 4-1 the last 2 Saturdays. You want to do another kind of 2 props for the price of 1?
I love a tag team type of situation here. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Kareem Hunt last week had 17 carries, ran the ball a ton for Kansas City. All right. He had a bunch of yards early in that game, had 34 yards on in the first 4 carries, he had 34 yards. All right. Andy Reid, we know for a fact, likes to go with the hot hand when he's running the football.
Yep.
But
Whether it's Mahomes, whether it's Hunt, whether it's Pacheco, he doesn't care who it is, but he will just ride it.
But once the game starts and the game flow happens, he's going to ride the hot hand. So Kareem Hunt had 17 carries last week, but he had 17 carries because this is what's lost in this. In the first 3 or 4 one of the first 3 or 4 carries, Isaiah Pacheco fumbled the snap from Mahomes. And he literally only had 6 carries after that, 5 or 6 carries. He stood on the bench the entire time. So it was this combination of Kareem Hunt was doing really well when he was in. They put Pacheco in. He got nothing, and then he fumbled the ball. And Andy Reid does not tolerate that stuff. So he put him on the bench. He let Kareem Hunt run. Kareem Hunt had 17 carries. Now everybody thinks Kareem Hunt, his total carry is only 11 and a half. He's going to fly over that. He had 17 last week. He's not, because Andy Reid, look at the season, all right? Isaiah Pacheco had over 6 carries in every regular season game the entire year. Every game, he had over 6. His total rushing attempts is 5 in this game. So there's only so many times they're going to turn and hand the ball off to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We feel like, because they reset after every game, which we know Andy Reid does this, that he's going to reset. He is not going to give the ball to 17 times to Kareem Hunt. He will let Pacheco be back in the flow of things. So providing that Pacheco does not turn the ball over in the first 3 or 4 carries or do something stupid, expect him to get well more than 5 rushing attempts. And because of that, expect Kareem Hunt's rushing attempts to come down back where they have been all year long, which is not at 17. It's below 11 and a half. So on based one piece of information, we're going to bet Kareem Hunt's rushing attempts under 11 and a half, and we're going to bet Isaiah Pacheco's rushing attempts over 5. What do you think of that?
It's a great idea because of exactly that. Yeah, you look at Pacheco, averages 10.3 rushes per game. He's been the starter in every game, and the only time Hunt comes in is in pass catching situations or in goal line. And if Kansas City does get a lead early, they're going to try and control the clock. They're going to try and run the football. And like you said, if Pacheco doesn't screw up in the first series or 2, it could be a big day for him, not only in terms of touches, but also in yards.
And they're going to dance with the one that brought him. It's not like he's going to get, I'm not saying he's going to get more carries than Kareem Hunt, although it wouldn't surprise me if he did, but he's good. They're not going to based on one game. What Andy Reid does, if you pay attention to him, is that he will punish you for making mistakes within the game. But once you get through the game, they look at the film, they get ready for the next game. He's back to where his long-term talent assessment led him to starting you in the first place. So Isaiah Pacheco is going to get touches early, providing they don't go horribly. That he's going to get more than 5. They're going to fly over that, or 5.5, whatever it is. Again, another one of those that, and I should have mentioned this. We talked about prop bets. Prop bets are set to beat sharp players. The numbers are bet to beat sharp players. So we're in the NFL in general, you can kind of play contrarian a little bit, where you take Carolina and they're playing Buffalo. You almost always will lean toward Carolina, understanding that the value will be with the bad team because the line is the equalizer in those type of situations, and the general public's all going to bet the better football team. That's not the case in props. Prop bets are bet to beat sharp players because they understand that the average $50 guy is not going to bet a lot of money on one particular prop. But if they don't limit the props, there will be sharp players. You know, they have this big unveiling thing at the Westgate that was last Thursday night of Pro Bowl week, and where they basically roll out the props 3 or 4 at a time and then allow sharp players, or whoever wants, but it's mainly professional gamblers that are standing there, that walk up, and they have pretty high limits. They'll have, $2,000, $5,000 limits or whatever. They can walk up and play the prop bets right when they come out. Because the Westgate does their own lines. They don't follow anybody else. So a lot of times those lines will be off from what you're getting in other houses. So there will be a slew. It's like a convention for smart gamblers. I did not go and won't go because I don't see the point.
You don't like people. We discussed this earlier.
Thank you. I don't want to be, but you're right. And professional gamblers, I bet like 3 that I couldn't even tolerate.
There's a lot of them who just maybe aren't good people, but also 2 are just annoying.
so annoying, and they think they know everything about everything. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
they definitely believe they are the smartest guy in the room,
just because
regardless of the room or the conversation topic.
exactly, and just because you're good at sports gambling doesn't mean you're necessarily a smart person or anybody wants to hear what your opinion is. I mean, come
There's
on, I don't
there's a reason a lot of these guys are single.
exactly. And there's a whole bunch of things, and I don't want to crap on the entire
We're
group, but I don't gotta go hang out with them. That's all I'm saying on a Thursday night
broad generalizations, yeah.
at the Westgate. But anyway, those guys will stand up there. They will. They'll have stacks and stacks of money, $50,
Yeah.
$60, $100,000, and they'll be betting as those numbers come out. They'll walk up to the window and they'll bet a big number immediately, thinking they're going to get the better of the line. That's important in props to remember that you can't just say because it looks too good to be true this way, I should go the other way. But that's 4 different prop bets we've played. AJ Brown over 5 catches, Jalen Hurts over 9.5 rushing attempts, Kareem Hunt under 11.5 carries, and Isaiah Pacheco over 5 carries, based on just a couple of different uh, philosophies that I think are going to happen. And because those are going to happen, these people will be the ones that will benefit from that. If you don't want to have to mess with any of that, guys, go to fatjacksports.com. Basketball's 4-1 again last Saturday. We're going to win again this week in hoops. Get those longer packages at the best rates of the entire year. Prices go up again at the end after the Super Bowl. They're going up, and baseball's going away.
The free baseball going away.
Free baseball. Yeah, we'll have baseball packages. I'll have a bunch of people. Last year I did. I had a bunch of people sign up for baseball.
Even though it was offered for free when you signed up for football season. But yeah.
I just roll my eyes. Yeah, I don't understand it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, give me $1,000 for baseball season. You're going to make money. You make 50 or 60 games of profit.
It's worth that investment, sure. But if you get it for free with another package, come on, people.
I keep thinking maybe they just came out of a coma or something. And so they came out, they're late, and they still didn't want to tell me they were in a coma, because I probably would have honored the free baseball if they had done that. But instead, they'll buy the baseball package, and that's fine if you want to do that. But if you don't want to buy it, you want to get it for free, sign up before Sunday night for football through the Super Bowl, and you'll get baseball for free, the combo package. Any package that you sign up for before Sunday night that runs into baseball season, you will get free baseball through the length of your package. So the best bet, go through the Super Bowl or March Madness in 26 or the NBA Finals in 26. All those packages are there. Save you a ton of money and get all those plays for free and have you building profit consistently all year long.
Hey guys, this is the Fat Jack. Are you finally ready to get a better plan betting the games this year? Let me help. Go to fatjacksports.com, where we understand that it's not the gambling she hates, it's the losing. fatjacksports.com.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour, and for the final time this football season, here is our host guiding us through the championship weekend. He is the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports Hour, segment number 3, Super Bowl edition. Now, if you're out there scheduling notes, we don't stop the Fat Jack Sports Hour just because football's over. So we will be back here next week talking about how the weekend went, how the game went, and much, much more, getting into basketball. Excited about basketball season. I really am. Basketball's gone really well to this point. A pretty standard year on profit so far, up over 35 games or 40 games, somewhere in that range on the season. Normally between now and the NBA Finals, we'll make about 60. And we very well could surpass that pretty easy this year. Like I say, if we only made 15 games of profit through all of March Madness and all that, that would be a disappointing run. So I would expect, normally right now we're about halfway through the profit. So whatever we made, we make about half. So it's probably going to be above average year. But what I was saying in the standard year was basically we'll have one great week or one good week, really good week, and then we'll have kind of a push week, and then we'll have a good week, and then we'll have a push week, and then we'll have a bad week. So the flow of it has been great. So you go up, 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 and then you go even, and then you go up, and then you go even, and you go down a little bit. That's basketball.
And then wash, rinse, repeat. It just kind of follows that same kind of general trajectory to where it's long-term up, but sometimes the dips aren't even bad, because at that point you're just giving back maybe a week's worth of profit.
Yeah, guys that are on basketball swear by it because of that. They love the fact that as long as they stay with it, they'll build profit consistently. The guys that hate it are the guys that only, as luck would have it, sign up for that 1 week.
One weekend,
Yeah, we're doing we have a correction I don't ever want to have those. I don't ever want to lose. Nobody wants to lose. But unfortunately, in sports gambling, they're going to be losing days. And So those are the only guys that really hate basketball, and I get that, but that's why I harp every week. If you listen to the show, I harp every week about long-term packages and getting in the system early and getting free play, because those are going to turn you into a winning gambler. I mean, I can't make you get everything and turn you into a winning sports gambler. And some people out there, Brandon, they just can't help it. I had a guy last weekend that texts me. I want to block the texting almost entirely. It's just so stupid. I don't want to receive a text from somebody that I don't know.
Mm.
I spent $150,000 on a website to make it so easy for you to get picks. I don't need you texting me. But I had a guy text me and said, he's a football client. I mean, been around a while. Give me 2 free basketball winners, and I'll sign up for your basketball. We were 4-1, and we were just dominating. As he's texting this and not winning at basketball, we're adding more profit. And I just think to myself, this guy's a losing gambler. This guy's a loser. He's not a loser in life, but just this is as a loser. He's never going to win. He would rather try to go to Costco and eat for free. It's not expensive. When you add, it's $99, and you're going to get multiple plays. But as we're running off 4-1 after making, basically a game a day for 3 weeks, I mean, 20 games over the last, month or so, he's trying to haggle for 2 free plays and we're going to make a decision on what to do based on those 2. Who cares? I don't get it at all. It's just that is the way a loser gambles. Don't do that. Pay the best rate, sign up early, play the plays, build profit. That's how you win money betting on sports. So you don't give me 2 plays. If you win, I'll sign up. Well, I don't know what that matters. If I go 2-0 or 0-2, it'll have nothing to do with how we do in basketball. It's like a free winner on the website. I'm going to give away a free winner this weekend for the game. But whether if that wins by 1,000 or and so go to fatjacksports.com, sign up for the free winner. If that wins by 1,000 or if it loses, it'll have nothing to do at all with our overall success, not only this weekend, but over the football season. So why are you making a decision based on that little bit of information? It's just stupid. Don't do that. People have trained you to think that that is the way that you should be making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they can't win. I win. I'm going to win for you, but you can't just give me 2 free plays. We'll see how it goes. No.
It's like it's the flea market or something. Get out of here.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter. If I give you the painting that's worth $10 million, it doesn't mean the next 5 things you buy from me at my booth at the flea market are going to be worth $10 million. It's a reflection of nothing. And so that is my biggest problem with it. That is, it doesn't matter. If I go 2-0 or 0-2, it makes no difference. So don't make decisions based on things that don't matter. Anybody can hit 2 games. Anybody can lose 2 games. That has nothing to do with it. So fatjacksports.com, $99 for the game, predicted final score, top 10 to 15 prop bets. Basketball, add that for $99 through the weekend. We'll have 5, 6, 7 plays on Saturday. As Brandon has said, actually, Jim Traber said also, and I go on with him, we almost always win basketball over Super Bowl weekend. Just one of those things.
It's always great when we get together for dinner on like Saturday nights with the whole crew. And the first thing that you will say 9 times out of 10, not, hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, Jamie, your hair looks nice. Did you like basketball today?
Yeah.
Every year.
We're in Vegas, so it's like 9 a.m. 10 o'clock in the morning. We're up $150 if you're playing $150 a game. So it's like, yeah, we're going the right way. Those are. Yeah. I always want to win, but yeah, Super Bowl weekend, I want every sport to win. We have a UFC going this weekend as well. So UFC won last weekend, so add those plays and get signed up there. How are we doing on time, Brandon?
We got all the time we need.
All right, because we can go back to. I was going to look at prop bets. Let's do another kind of angle.
A correlated sort of if X equals Y.
This isn't even really that. This is for our Canadian fans. For anybody that's listening outside the United States, you might be able. I don't know if there's some states that'll offer this bet or not, but if you can find, I normally will hit on this show. I will talk about the coin toss.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about the national anthem. Mm-hmm. For those of you who are interested.
I don't even know who's doing the anthem this year. I mean, I know halftime because I like Kendrick Lamar. Who is doing the anthem this year?
I don't know. You got to. If there was something we could punch into a computer and figure it out, I bet you'd come up with it though. Help us out because I will have a guess on that before we get out of here. I was going to give you the heads and tails. Heads is, I want to say 20-17 over tails. One of them, I wrote it down. I don't know where it went. I'm going to find that. But I normally give you a heads and tails, and then I'll give you a national anthem. So I'm going to give you another one. Now, you're going to have to, it's like those, though. Well, actually, heads and tails you can bet anywhere. But if you like Kansas City to win, Brandon, the last 2 times that Kansas City has won, and I'm trying to figure out a way. I don't think I can bet this in Vegas. I'm going to look when I get there, but because things that are predetermined, they don't allow you to bet on. So things like national anthem, you have to bet that offshore. And I do have a couple offshore accounts, but if Kansas City wins, the Gatorade is going to be purple.
Okay.
And do you know how I know that?
I'm gonna is it because of our relationship with our radio station in Kansas City that knows somebody who fills the Gatorade buckets?
I wish.
Oh man, that would be great inside
That would be
information.
even better. And the fact that I was given that on here might get that person fired. They're giving it to a handicapper who's been announcing it to the entire world that I've got
And profiting off
inside
it. Right.
Gatorade information. No. Here's how I know.
Gatorade supplier.
But no. The last 2 times that the Kansas City Chiefs have won the Super Bowl, purple Gatorade.
Okay. We're playing a trend.
The one thing you don't mess with
is a winning streak.
Is a Gatorade color. If you're superstitious at all, you don't mess with the taping. You don't mess with the type of Velcro. You're not messing with the laminate machine, and you don't mess with Gatorade. So purple is going to be the Gatorade. If Kansas City wins, purple is going to be the Gatorade. It's 2 in a row. They've consistently loved purple. It's going to be purple. You can get that at 3-1 if you can find it. So the problem is you got to get Kansas City to win. I don't know what would happen with Philly. I'm going to guess orange. They seem like an orange team.
It's got to contrast with the green. Yeah, because you can't go green Gatorade because green Gatorade's gross. So yeah, orange.
I'm trying to think why I would think orange. Orange pops into my mind. But anyway, I would just pay attention to that. If Kansas City wins, it's going to be purple, and we're going to have left money on the table when it's purple. And more importantly, if they win and it is purple, next year I'm going to be doing the Pro Bowl show from Canada. I'm flying to if they are in the game next year. Let's somehow, some way, they win this year. Purple Gatorade is dumped on the head coach, and they get back to the Super Bowl next year. I'm flying you up there. We're going to go to Canada, and we'll
go to Toronto or Vancouver or someplace, one of the great cities up there.
I'm going to bet as much as they will possibly let me
on purple Gatorade.
On purple Gatorade, and then I'm going to find hopefully they'll be a favorite, and then I'm going to bet as much as I possibly bet the same amount on the money line on the other team. And I may do that this year. If I figure it out, I think that's probably the play. You money line. I'm not with 3. I'm going to feel so stupid if I'm right. And the Gatorade, they were out of purple Gatorade. I'm going to be really stupid about it. But if they go 3 in a row, Brandon, if you get purple this year, next year's going to be purple.
You got to. So. You absolutely have to.
So I don't know. To be continued. We'll talk about that next week after the Super Bowl.
The national anthem singer Jon Batiste.
Okay, Jon Batiste. No, he didn't. I was going to say he spoke at my daughter's graduation in May. That was not true. That was who's the other dude that sings "All of Me"? All of me.
John Legend.
John Legend. He spoke at my daughter's college graduation. He was great, actually. Jon Batiste. Is he going to sing it or is he going to play something? He'll probably play something, right?
I mean, he is a jazz piano type guy, band leader type of guy. But I would assume that it's going to be sing and piano. So he's going to be controlling the tempo for the whole thing if he's playing piano with it.
Yeah, we should have. I don't know. As it gets closer, we'll probably have it. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I don't. That's not where I'm going to lose money this year, and I'm not going to bet on the coin toss either. Maybe I may give in and play on the coin toss.
I'm going to be doing I was going to say I'm going to be doing a live stream on Fat Jack Sports Instagram Sunday before the game. If you tune in then to the live stream on Instagram, we will have information on the national anthem.
All right, perfect. People schedule that. Also, if Travis Kelce going to propose to Taylor Swift? You can get 750 plus 750 if it's yes.
Wow.
What do you think?
That would break the internet, I think. Because with all the Chiefs hatred that's out there and people saying that the whole thing's rigged, those QAnon type people are going to be there. And then you get the Swifties involved, buddy, the internet would break.
A lot of moving parts. Yeah, coin toss, 30 tails, 28 heads, the last 58 games. So heads is due. If you're looking for that action, I need to write that down. Everybody asks when I go on these stations about these things. So 30 tails, 28 heads. So, all right, e-file thoughts, Brandon, before you head to Vegas?
Some trends. This is the 5th time we've had a rematch between head coaches in the Super Bowl. The coach that won the previous game, 4-0 in the rematch. So that leads towards Kansas City. Also, teams wearing white are 37-21 all time and 19-4 since 2000. The Chiefs are wearing white.
It's 2 Chiefs. The Mahomes as a less than 3-point underdog or favorite has been almost unbeatable. Less than a 3-point favorite or underdog, he's been almost unbeatable. I'm surprised that Philly's getting as much love as they are based on all of that. I mean, it's been and the line will probably move a little bit toward Kansas City as we get closer. Because I think I know there are some sharp players that like Kansas City also. There are a lot more of them on Philly than Kansas City, but there are some on Kansas City too. So I would also say if you're going to bet the game, if you're going to Vegas or one of these places, if you're going to bet Philly, probably worth waiting. If you're going to bet Kansas City, if it's below 2, you're probably not the worst thing in the world. The other kind of important stat in that, and we'll get out of here, is underdog or the team that's covered has won the game at a very high rate, 90 some odd percent. So points have not mattered that much in this game, at least not even in recent history, but definitely in recent history. The team that has won has covered. So let me give you that number real quickly, and then we will get out of here. Dogs have been cashing 13-4 the last 17 games. That's underdogs in general. So this would be offsetting those Kansas City numbers. And in the big 17-6 against the spread, the last 23 underdogs are. Straight up winners, 47-7-3 against the spread. So, okay, if you like Philly, okay to go ahead and back them on the money line. Probably you're most likely not going to cover and
the point and a half's not going to matter. So
shouldn't if you look back at totals, 28 overs, 27 unders, and 2 pushes. If you're not ready for the game now, you hadn't been listening. Go catch us on the podcast of the show. Enjoy your weekend. Wager responsibly. Don't drink and drive until next week. We're back from Vegas, and we're turning our attention toward basketball, more soccer, and much, much more. This has been the Super Bowl edition of the Fat Jack Sports Hour.